Hi guys, happy Sunday!
Hey, it's week 2.
Yay, we're super excited. Today was our 25th anniversary at church, so we spent like our whole day there and it was super fun, super awesome.
Very
Holy Spirit
exciting.
was definitely there. It was great.
Very powerful as well.
So this is our second video and I'm going to turn this music down. It might be just a little bit overpowering. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about some of the common misconceptions about marriage in today's culture. I think the number one thing that is definitely misconstrued about marriage is that happy couples never argue, and that is completely and totally false. I think we know that by experience. We learned that real quick in the first year of our marriage. We argue. We argue whether it's big stuff, little stuff, whether he didn't take the trash out or he didn't dry my clothes long enough, because he actually did my laundry today, which I'm super grateful for. And my clothes are still damp. And me being the butthole that I am, I was to walk up to the clothes. I'm like, really? They're still damp. You didn't dry them long enough.
They were extra 20 minutes, so I just put some towels in there, so therefore it stayed a little.
So that just goes to
show.
Yeah, that goes to show just the little things that can tick somebody off, and how little arguments can spark big ones. But thankfully, we're both filled with the Holy Spirit, and we don't. We're able to just brush those things off our shoulder, and my husband still loves me, right?
Always and forever.
Okay, so I think you have a couple verses you want to share, right? About.
Yeah, I have Ephesians 5, chapter 5, verse 25. Love your wives as Christ loved the church. He gave up his life for hers. In the way we should be willing to give up our own lives for our wives. So me, how I personally feel about what I just read is that it's true. Like, we should do exactly what Jesus Christ would do. What he did was sacrifice his life, and I'll be more than willing to do that for my wife, my children. It's it's just part of being brave and standing for what you believe in. Yeah, and being a leader.
Protecting your wife. And you do a great job. You're a great leader, honey.
I try.
So the next verse. This is my favorite verse. I love this verse because it's like thumbs up for me. It's like I'm God's favorite. So go ahead, read it.
Okay, so this verse here is Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives and treat them with respect to the weaker partner, or as the weaker partner, I'm sorry, and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that your prayers won't be hindered.
And this one is funny, and I love this verse because basically what this verse says is that if my husband doesn't respect me and treat me with respect, then God ain't hearing nothing he has to say when he prays. So your prayers are blocked, boy.
That's right. I get rejected, denied. Which is not
fair.
No,
but seriously, tell them what that verse means to you. Like, how do you live that verse?
Basically, like, I try to basically look at our Father, which, he basically is looking at me and how I treat his daughter. So therefore,
he's your father-in-law. You got two fathers-in-laws.
I really have to be careful on what I say, how I treat her, because if not, I'm going to get that 10 degree, not the 3rd degree. I'm going to get that 10 degree burn. Man, I just, I just put in prayer that I don't make that many mistakes, because we are going to make mistakes. We're not perfect. And
but you learn from them.
I learn from them. And, always I treat her with respect. I treat her with love. And I always ask God to bring peace in my heart because, it's so easy to get caught up in our feelings and our emotions. And then, that's how we tend to act out. And then we get out of character. So,
yeah. I think another thing is choosing joy in your arguments. So when him and I argue, I make the executive decision to just choose joy in the situation. Even when I want to slap him, sometimes I go in my bathroom and I just like, God, I love you. And I don't try to seek all of my joy from him. I seek my joy from the Lord. I go to him. I can't expect my husband to fulfill every need that I have because he's human. And I think a lot of times I had to learn this the hard way. I was coming home from work, loading all my stress on him. And he wouldn't be, he wouldn't know what to say, how to deal with it all the time, because he had a long day at work too. So it's just a matter of saying, okay, God, I have all these things I want to say to my husband. But I'm going to say it to you because you're the one who can change hearts. You're the one who can comfort me in the situation and bring me peace. And then I can come to my husband when I'm fully just calm.
And also as I'm lying down, like I have to be able to have my time as well when I come home from work, because after a long day, I work outdoors, so I'm in the sun, I'm sweating, and there's one thing, I want to come home, because I love my family, I'm happy to be home, but I do need some peace too, right? When I walk in the house, if she's coming here with, a ton of stuff, and I have a ton of stuff, and I'm already stressed out, and I haven't even been able to
go to God first.
Walk in the door. I have to, get some time and unwind myself. So.
Yeah, and I think as women of the house, I think we're responsible for the climate of our home, meaning we do have to fill this home up with joy and happiness. And I think one of the ways I do that is by putting on worship music when he's gone. When he comes home, the worship music is on, dinner is cooking. I ask him how his day was, and I don't just immediately jump on him with the stresses of my day.
Right.
Going to God first he'll help you. He'll give you the wisdom on when to speak, when to talk about, And we've been good at that. We come together at night and we talk about, hey, our day was like this. This is what happened today. Let's pray about it. Although we do have to get better about praying like all the time. Sometimes we skip a night because we're tired. But we do want to get better about that. And before we spend 10 minutes on this one topic, we're going to move on to the next one. So the next misconception is that marriage is 50-50. And that's definitely a lie. I think marriage is definitely...
Me personally, I think it should be 100. Consider that. Because, I believe that, it's both of us. It's just not one person here in the marriage.
Yeah.
And
giving 100% of your effort.
Yeah, you have to, whether you want to or not, you have to submit and be submissive, because
both
partners, not just one person, because it'd be unfair for the other person to give 200% instead of 100. We have to be able to balance this together. You know what I'm saying? It can't be 50-50, because when you think 50-50, it's just like half of your cup is full.
Yeah.
When really both of our cups are full.
Both of our cups should be full.
Yeah, it should be full, because we both carry the load together. Mm-hmm. It's just not one person's carrying more than the other.
Yeah.
Or
and put your spouse's happiness before your own. I think that's one of the things.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because we tend to think about how we feel.
I have a verse I want to share. You can keep talking.
We tend to really think about how we feel, but we should think about how the other person feels, because it's not only our feelings involved, it's us, both of us.
I'm going to read this verse. Okay. So this verse is Galatians 5:19-21, and this verse slapped me in the face when I read it. And so it says, it's obvious what kind of life develops out of trying to get your own way all the time. Repetitive, loveless, cheap sex, a stinking accumulation of mental and emotional garbage, frenzied and joyless grabs for happiness, trinket gods, magic show religion, paranoid loneliness, cutthroat competition, all-consuming yet never satisfied once, a brutal temper, an impotence of love or to be loved, divided homes and divided lives, small-minded and lopsided pursuits, the vicious habit of depersonalizing everyone into a rival, uncontrolled and uncontrollable addictions, and ugly parodies of community. I could go on. So when I read that verse, I think every single description they said here is what we see in culture now. I think we do turn everybody into a rival. Even turn our family and our husbands into rivals.
Definitely agree.
Loveless relationships, cheap sex, which you see on the internet. It's those are things that I think we have to look back at this verse and say, is this the kind of life we're living? This is not the kind of life we want. This is an example of what not to do in your marriage.
Yeah.
I think serving your husband to the best of your abilities at 100% is where we want to be at. We should look at serving our husbands as a way to serve God and as a way to love God, because that's what it is. I think that's one of the biggest things. That verse really stuck with me, and I'll post that verse too on our page if you guys ever want to go back and look back at that. But that verse, if you ever want to know if you're living your life right, just go look at that verse, and I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out quick.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else on that?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
No, that was great, actually.
So the last thing, my husband came up with this point. You can say that one.
So I think
the contract thing.
With marriage, a lot of us in this world, before we get married, we tend to think, oh man, marriage is like a contract. Really, it's not. It's really a covenant. It's unity. But a lot of us human beings, when we say I do, everyone gets afraid a little bit, because they're like, oh my goodness, we're under contract. Well, really it's not, because a contract is basically two people making an agreement But it's not that. It's a lifetime agreement. So that's what makes this a unity.
You're so cute, and I love him. He's the best. A contract it basically says, I'll love you until you do something I don't like, or I'll be with you until you do something I don't appreciate, or you did me wrong. So I'm done with you. I think a lot of times we have the misconception that, we're not agreeing. We've been arguing all year. We're done. That's what a contract is. A covenant is loving your spouse no matter where you're at, loving them right where they are, even when they're not doing things your way. I mean, he struggled with addictions and just terrible things for so many years. And I realized that, this is not a contract here. This is something I have to stick by, whether he's doing things my way or not, whether he's doing what I want him to do or not. I'm still going to choose to love my husband no matter what. This is a lifetime commitment. It's not a contract. It's not a piece of paper that you can just say, well, you made me mad, I'm done. Sticking it out together, I think, is the most important thing. I'll let you talk.
I think.
Do you have anything else to say? Because I see he's just staring at me through the video, and I know he's itching to talk.
No, just keeping up the fight. Like, it's easy to walk away and just say, you know what, forget this. I'm done. But the hardest thing to do is to keep fighting for what you truly love, and till death do us part. Like, I think about that the most, and that's what touches my heart each and every day, that I wake up knowing that I have my best friend next to me, and we're gonna die together. Like, even when our kids grow older, they're going to leave us. But at the end of the day, I still have my best friend next to me.
Yeah,
so that's
true.
what I think about the most.
It.
Like, this is my best friend. This is my soulmate. Like, no matter what hard time she's in, no matter what season we're in, we're going to stick this out together. We're never going to give up on each other. We're going to continue to fight.
Yeah, and there's so many things. There's so many times that I've been so angry at my husband for things that he's done, and I'm just sitting there spilling out, well, you did this and you're doing that and you always do this, you're never going to change. And I hear God sometimes telling me, like, you keep telling him what he's doing and you're not telling me. And I think that we need to take our problems to God, because he's the one who changes hearts. And I said that before, he changes hearts. I can't change this man's heart. He might make me mad. He might not realize that he has a habit of doing something that makes me upset. Instead of me pointing out all his flaws, I just need to take those flaws to God. Because sometimes we say things that we shouldn't speak. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. That applies to everything, and especially your marriage.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we do have more things we want to talk about, but we don't want to make this a 20-minute video. So we're going to try to split this topic up for different videos. The next video, if you guys have any requests for that, I was going to talk about getting the fight back for joy in your home. I think that's super important in your family, not only in your marriage, but in your family.
Yeah.
And these days we're super clinged to our devices, and I think that we should be more focused on our empires. So the next video is going to be about how to balance that and how to get the fight back for joy in your home. And we also wanted to support our followers by asking for a prayer request. So if you guys have anything that you're struggling with or need prayer for, feel free to just send us a private message. I'm sorry, I keep smacking you with my hand.
Talking with your hands, man.
That's what I do. I always talk with my hands. If you guys have any prayer requests, we are going to be looking at those during the week and praying over those together. So feel free to send those in. We love you guys. Thank you for keeping tuned in and following us. We're excited for what God's going to do. And what do you want to say?
God bless everyone. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And like she said, send a prayer request, because we're more than happy to say prayers for everyone.
And support you guys. We love you. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.